It is another fabulous day on planet Earth. I'm so excited because I love Tesla and I love the fact that Elon Musk just dropped $1 billion buy on Tesla stock. Now, for those who are interested in the whole market and trading and investments and cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. Thank you for tuning in today. It's Charlene on the radio, 88.5 FM live. And I am ecstatic because Tesla is one of those stocks that it's a part of the Magnificent Seven when it comes to the top trading stocks in the U.S. stock market. But not only being a part of the Magnificent Seven, but Tesla also is ahead of the other six major stocks in the Magnificent Seven. So let's look at Yahoo Finance. This is one of the areas where if you're not like participating, or if you're not familiar, or if you don't get involved, you're just basically missing the boat. And I am just wanting to share with you the most important things that I tend to follow. So this radio show is like therapy for me. Visiting here in the Turks and Caicos Islands, this is Charlene live on 88.5 FM, The Beat. You can follow along as well. Go over to 885thebeat.com. If you want to join the show live on the radio, just go ahead and text or WhatsApp. Here is the phone number if you want to check in with me live on the air. It's better if you text or WhatsApp 649-441-8805. So I just I have some challenges, some personal challenges, and one of those challenges is, as a mom raising my son, and his interest has developed over the years in crypto, in Bitcoin, in Tesla. He's so fascinated with the space programs. He wants to go to Cape Canaveral, which is in Florida, close to Orlando, where the Kennedy Space Center is. So that's one of his interests. But SpaceX, another of the companies that's run and operated by Elon Musk. Elon Musk as the chief engineer at SpaceX. My son's fascinated by the whole SpaceX program and building the biggest rocket ship. This kid loves rocket ships since he was 4. He was into trains when he was like 1, 2, 3, and then he graduated from toy trains, and the Polar Express was his favorite book, favorite movie, and now is all about space, all about exploring space, all about going to space, going to Mars. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I myself, as a mom, Charlene, is vested in learning everything about Tesla, everything about SpaceX, because that's what's the fascination of my child. So he's leading me down this pathway in terms of engineering and space. He wants to be a chief engineer of a space program someday. He's only 10 in the year 2025. So in a few years, with the artificial intelligence capabilities of teaching children, my son will become one of those chief engineers in some big space company or whatever. That's what he wants to do. And I am encouraging him and providing all the resources that he could possibly need for that. Now, back to Elon Musk dropping $1 billion on buying his own Tesla stocks. A lot of times people take money out of their companies. Tesla is one of those companies that, though Elon Musk is the owner of the company, he has a lot of his employees, and being the CEO, his employees, the board wants him to stay on. The board just offered him, or putting together a pay package for Elon Musk for $1 trillion. Can you imagine your paycheck? That, those giant checks that you give out like at a photo op when you're making a big donation, like a big cardboard check. Well, that $1 billion that the board of Tesla is offering Elon Musk as a pay raise. Oh my goodness. I don't think he could fit the zeros on one of those big giant checks, but that's what they're offering to pay him. Now remember, if you've been following anything in the stock market, anything in the investment world, the crypto world, the tech world, let's just say the tech world, if you've been following anything, you know that this man has not been paid for the last 7 years because there's some kind of legal issues over where a judge decided that he didn't deserve the paycheck that he was getting. So what the employees did and the board did and the shareholders did is they're offering to pay him more, $1 trillion paycheck to Elon Musk. That's still being what do you call it, reviewed by all the members of the board, and I can't wait to see what that turns out to be. But on top of that, this guy has money coming out of the yin yang, right? He's got money coming out of every pore of his body. It's like sweat. He's sweating billions. Elon Musk's sweat is like sweating gold coins or gold, little gold bubbles coming out. He's got so much money. He just dropped, in addition to the $1 trillion paycheck, Elon just bought $1 billion in stocks in his company, Tesla. The Tesla stock was trading at like 320, 330, 340, 350, 360, 380. And over the weekend, while you were having fun here on the beaches, or, while you were out on the yacht with Keika's Lifestyle, hitting it up at Noah's Ark, whatever you were doing. Oh, maybe you were going to church. Elon Musk Tesla stock just jumped over I think it was like 10 points, 10%, close to 10%. It's now been traded today, Monday, in the 429 was the last time. Let me just check it right now. I'm checking the stocks for you. Oh my goodness. Tesla, it came down a little bit, but earlier it was the high for the day. Let me see what the high was. This is crazy, $430. And the low, or the last trade, it opened at 423, and the lowest was in the 397 range. Folks, if the inventor of the company is dropping $1 billion buys over the weekend on his own stock, if you're not involved in investments, learning about what's happening, learning about what's about to come, I'm warning you, you're going to be left behind. If you're not participating, if you're sitting on the sidelines, I've been visiting these islands, and I go and come, and every time I come, there's like another hotel chain, another Ritz-Carlton, the St. Regis, the Andes Resort, all these big players, maybe not as big as Elon Musk dropping $1 billion, but they put their money together and they're building on these islands. I find out they're also building in Jamaica. They're building in all the Caribbean. There's a lot of investment. People have money spending. But guess what? Why are you and me the only ones not buying and selling it? We don't have it. Okay, first of all, we don't have billions. We don't have millions. We don't even have thousands. Right now, we gotta scrape up pennies under the couch to buy food today. But here's the thing, what I realized. A lot of the people in the Turks and Caicos Islands have land. You have something that these people, for some reason, are coming to Turks and Caicos Islands trying to buy up every single listing on the real estate listing. I've been chasing these real estate lists here in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and I've been looking and I've been talking to people, and everybody is wanting to sell their lands. What is wrong with you people? You don't have to sell. Thank you for tuning in. This is Charlene live on 88.5 FM, live in the Turks and Caicos Islands, where the beaches are white. What is it? Coral reefs. The barrier reef is protected island. Oh man, this is beautiful. The water is turquoise. And you've got to be out there on the water. Get on to a private yacht. Okay, when you go to certain places, there are certain things that place is famous for. Turks and Caicos Islands is famous for the beaches, but the water, the turquoise water, oh my goodness. We were on Caicos Lifestyle private yacht a few days ago, and that ocean was as pristine, as crystal clear. Matter of fact, the water was so mellow. The water was flat. I don't know what you call it. I'm not a marina expert. Maybe we should get Captain Robo on the show to talk about, the water was so calm. I felt like the best I've felt in a long time. Because you know me, I'm kind of kooky and crazy. And I've got like emotional, roller coaster going. 1 minute I'm crying, 1 minute I'm screaming. And the next minute I am smiling and having a good time. But being on that water, I've never felt so grounded. And here's a secret about this girl. This is Charlene, live on 88.5 FM, bringing you the Smart Beat. The Smart Beat is where we cover all these tech topics. But I'm kind of giving you a little bit of personal insight on this crazy lady on the radio talking about Bitcoin and crypto and AI. So I've been battling my own demons for a while now. And I had a moment this week. Okay, they're back. But there was a moment where those demons could not infest my body. I was so calm, so relaxed. And it took the beautiful, calm ocean of the Caribbean Sea to bring me grounded. The oxymoronic idea that I could be the most grounded when I'm at sea, the most grounded when I'm sailing or, out there on the ocean. I'm not sailing. What is it? Driving the boat, just sitting on the boat, chilling, unwinding on the water. That's what grounds me. Thank you for tuning in. This is Charlene live on 88.5 FM, The Beat. So if you want to feel the most grounded, get on the ocean on a private yacht. Caicos Lifestyle. Hook them up. Call them up. Let them know that Charlene over at 88.5 FM is your best friend, your best host on the radio. You don't want to go out on one of those party boats. You want to go out something where you can actually unwind. I mean, you can go out on those party boats. I should actually big up Beaches Resort. They're one of our very favorite partners. So I love the Beaches brand. I am all about that. I love the whole Sandals Resort thing. So yes, when you're done with the party boat, then you want to chill on the private yacht. And that's what I'm talking about. All right, so let me get back. Now that I'm a little bit more grounded, I'm not on the ocean right now. I am coming to you live on the radio, 88.5 FM. I was just had to kind of give you an insight about what the ocean was doing for me. Here's the thing. If you're not involved in artificial intelligence, crypto, Bitcoin, technology, you are already behind. But here's how you can jump to the front of the line with 88.5 FM, because here's what we're going to do, which we've already done. We have launched our own crypto token. It's called The Beat. The Beat. 88.5 FM, The Beat. The Beat coin, you can go on 885thebeat.com and register to earn free tokens, to earn free crypto, not Bitcoin. I didn't say Bitcoin. I said Beat, BEAT, the station, 88.5 FM, The Beat. We have launched our own token and crypto coin that is only available to our listeners and viewers. Now, here's how it works. 805, we drop 88.5 tokens and we distribute that to all the members who have signed up online. So, what it really is, let me break it down. In the past, you used to get like a free hat or free t-shirt, or when you swipe your credit cards at your favorite shopping, you earn points that you can use. You earn points or airline miles or whatever kind of points on your credit card. That's exactly what we're doing. For listening to the radio, you can earn points. You earn rewards. Now you can turn those in. We're going to be printing up some merch, some merchandise, hats, t-shirts, bags, shopping bags, and so you can go ahead and order all those free things on the website 885thebeat.com, and you can use, once you earn enough free tokens, you can trade those in for actual merchandise. Or let's say we're hosting a concert on the radio. This is music. This is The Beat, 88.5 FM. You can exchange your points when we're going to hit that big concert. And I'm putting together something for the new year. So come January 3rd, the 17th anniversary of Bitcoin, the original Bitcoin was launched on October 31st, 2008. But the first Bitcoin was mined, the first coin, the first token, the first money, the first currency in Bitcoin was January 3, 2009. That's called the Genesis block. The first Bitcoin is called the Genesis block. Now, a lot of people wonder why, like a Christ-loving, Christian following, Latter-day Saint, Mormon girl is out here talking about Bitcoin all the time. Because a lot of people disassociate wealth from religion. Like, come on, folks, the richest corporation in the world, I think, is the Catholic Church, isn't it? Or the Latter-day Saint Church, the Mormon Church is so wealthy. All that money, a lot of churches are wealthy. So I don't know which pastors you're listening to that are dissuading you from investing and growing. Remember, Jesus Christ himself taught us about the parable of the good steward. He gave and he also talked about the parable of the talent. He gave one guy 10 coins. That guy goes and multiplies that 10 by 10, and then the other guy got 5. He went and multiplied that by 5 and got increased his net worth. And the guy who has one, like you and me, one little dollar in our wallet, we're gonna keep that. We're gonna put that $1 away and be like, oh, I'm putting it in my savings jar, and I'm not gonna spend it. I'm not gonna buy anything. Oh, come on, folks. Jesus Christ himself has taught us the value of investing. The value of multiplying, replenish the earth, multiply and replenish your pockets, seek out wealth, seek out information, seek out knowledge, seek out wisdom. King Solomon was a wealthy king, a wise man. All the great prophets in the Bible were extremely wealthy. They had concubines and lots of wealth and lands, and the children of Israel were meant to be wealthy. They had all this available to them. Now, folks, in these days, you are following some idea where you think obtaining wealth is somewhat sinful. The sinful thing is not doing the right thing with the wealth, but acquiring wealth, reaping what you sow, planting, growing. I am so fascinated by the opportunities that exist right here today. There are enough opportunities here in the Turks and Caicos Islands, in the Caribbean, in the United States, all around the world for everybody to live in an abundant way. There's a lot of pastors are preaching about abundant living, but they're not telling you to go get into the Bitcoin. Last week alone, people are turning billionaires and millionaires from investing in technology. Bitcoin is basically a technology. The United States of America is now saying that the Treasury, the US Treasury, is backed by nothing other than Bitcoin. Gold, I don't know what happened to all the gold that was supposed to be in Fort Knox. They can't show us any gold that was supposed to be in Fort Knox. Either it's been raided like the Tomb Raiders, but Fort Knox, I have not seen a piece of gold since the 70s in that place. I don't know. Somebody's got the key to that vault, and then they probably dead, or I don't know. But they can't seem to find the gold that's supposed to be at Fort Knox to audit it to show us how much gold is in there, or where the United States is supposedly keeping its gold reserves. But one thing we do know with Bitcoin, everything is visible. We can now tell, if you go over here with me to Bitcoin treasuries, we can tell who has the Bitcoin. We can tell how much Bitcoin the United States of America currently holds. And let me tell you what that is. Let me just pull it up real quick. I've got a list here of all the countries that own Bitcoin and how much they own. So we're looking at the United States of America is holding 107 Bitcoins. That's not, I think that number is wrong. It's got to be wrong. These people need to hold a lot more Bitcoin. But here's the thing, folks. The whole time, the United States has been collecting Bitcoins while I don't know where you've been. Sorry, I made a mistake. 1,700 Bitcoins is being publicly disclosed. Does the Turks and Caicos government own any Bitcoin? The United Kingdom owns a couple thousand Bitcoins in its reserves. We have to get with the technology. I'm not here to preach like all these other crypto coins. There's over 20 million different crypto coins out there. Some of them are fake or whatever, but you yourself can launch your own crypto coin. I'm not going to knock it, but there's only one that I actually concerned about, or mentally invested in, and that's a Bitcoin. You have this opportunity for countries. El Salvador has taken on Bitcoin as its national currency because they use the US dollar in El Salvador, just like in Turks and Caicos Islands, they use the US dollars. A lot of places, a lot of countries are now gravitating to the concept, to the strategy of using Bitcoin as their financial reserve because their own currencies are worth, toilet paper material. So I am suggesting that if you see a rich man planting a certain crop, plant the same crop. If you see a rich man using a certain technology, find out, learn about that technology, get involved in it. Do not be on the sidelines. There's no sin in seeking wisdom, knowledge, and wealth. I am so excited to share this with you. We are living in the day of some people talk about abundant era. For me, it's the era of harnessing. We're harnessing energy. See, just the other day, Fortis, the local electric company, sold itself to a new investor called something, but they're not Pelican Energy in the Turks and Caicos Islands. So folks, things are moving and shaking. Are you participating, or are you still sitting on the beach drinking soon? What is it? I shall reach, and not getting involved. Get involved. You shall reach now. Come on, hurry up and get on the bandwagon. Stop selling your family land. I'm going to talk about that next. What you can do rather than sell, how you can leverage that land, how you can participate, how you can build your big house without selling, how you can grow your family's wealth without selling. You think Warren Buffett's selling land? You think Microsoft, what is it? Bill Gates is buying land, and you over here selling your land. Come on, folks. You're tuned in to Charlene on 88.5 FM, The Beat, where you are going to learn stuff that you don't even know you needed to learn. But that's why you tune in. 88.5 FM, The Beat, with me, Charlene, live. Now, if you are looking for something to do, the ultimate thing to do is to get on a private yacht. Caicos Lifestyle, my buddy, Captain Robo. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. Captain Robo, my dearest friend, you will not be left at sea with this guy. He's so amazing. Go to 88.5 FM or 885thebeat.com, and you'll click on a banner there. It will take you straight to his website where you can book a private tour. 885thebeat.com. And the number to call, or actually don't call, but to text. I have a bunch of texts that I'm going to be reading off some of your texts. Here is the number. WhatsApp or text 649-441-885 the beat. 649-441-8805. 649-441-8805. Live on 88.5 FM with Charlene. Now, if I make a mistake, please don't hold it against me. This girl is blind, and at sometimes I can't even see half the time. I have my own demons crawling out right here on the show. I gotta beat them back with my knowledge and my smartness. So demons, stay away. Let me do the show for one day without bothering me. Okay, so here we go. How can you leverage your land? How can you leverage your real estate? Okay, I'll borrow some approaches from the United States. In the state of Hawaii, where I lived quite a long time, and my baby boy is now in Hawaii. I miss him so much. Shout out to my sweet son in the state of Hawaii. Mommy loves you. But one of the things that they do a lot in Hawaii, you can buy real estate in Hawaii. You can buy all the things you want to do in Hawaii. But a lot of the land you cannot buy. It's not even for sale. You know what's for sale? You leasing that land and developing on it. So that land that your family has on that beachfront, you don't have to sell it. You can sell it as a fee. It's called fee-based. Now, what you're doing is you're selling it and giving the title away to the land. What you could consider doing, you might consider doing. Listen, I'm not giving out financial advice. I'm not giving out investment advice. I'm not giving out real estate advice. Matter of fact, I am not a real estate agent. I used to be a real estate agent in the state of Hawaii. I'm formerly a real estate agent. So anything I say does not hold any legal premise or legal water. I'm just giving you my crazy idea. If I own some of these lands in Turks and Caicos and I wanted to cash and I wanted to build a house, or I wanted to invest, or I wanted money to feed my family, I would offer the land for lease. You can buy a 100-year lease on my land. You can buy a 50-year lease on my land. You can buy a 20-year lease on my land. That is if I own land in these beautiful Caribbean beachside islands. But I don't own anything. I'm just a girl, crazy woman on the radio, Charlene on 88.5 FM. But you don't have to sell. You can reap the same, you can ask for the same price to lease the land, for the same price that you're selling it. Remember, when you lease it, you're going to get a payment every year. So you can decide how much you want on that lease payment every year. It's called a fee. You're selling, but you're not selling. You know what I mean? Like, I can sell my assets, and I've got good assets. Somebody just told me, oh, girl, you got them assets. Okay, besides that, you don't have to give away the farm. You can put a fee on your property. And that comes back. Remember, governments, they charge taxes, property taxes. It's a bit the same thing. That person can buy the land for whatever price you agree, but an annual fee, and they can build on it, they can develop on it, they can pretty much do anything they want with it, but that money is going to be in your future generation, or your children and your grandchildren can still own that asset long, long after you're gone. If you put a 100-year lease up on the listing, I don't know. I'm not really saying, I'm just wondering why you guys aren't doing that. I don't understand your laws. I don't understand your standards. I don't even understand your structure. I don't understand your government. This is the British government property. I'm just passing through and dropping my opinions, which nobody asked for. I'm volunteering my nonsense, which I call the smart beat on 88.5 FM. Hey, you want to chime in? You want to tell me how it exactly works and why you have to sell and why you can't put a fee, why you can't do a fee-based transaction or purchase contract? I don't understand. People, there are more ways to skin a cat than one. And the one way you're skinning your cat, that cat ain't got 9 lives. That cat's got 1 life. So if you know what I'm talking about, call into the station, text me, WhatsApp me. All the WhatsApp messages I'm getting and all the text messages I'm getting asking me questions that we ain't supposed to be talking about on the air. Listen, I'm not this. Okay, so I've gotten a few texts. I think these texts are coming from the male species. I think they like my voice. They think I have a really sweet voice. I don't know about that. I'm just telling you the facts. Oh my goodness. Follow the technology, follow the knowledge, follow the information. Charlene, live on 88.5 FM. I haven't even shouted out the Bitcoin trading price today. So let's go over to Fiat Link and let's do that. But meanwhile, if you are listening on the radio, welcome to 88.5 FM. While I'm loading, refreshing my screen here, I'm looking at the different currencies. So we have, let's see, we have the US dollar, and we have the euro. We have, what is the South Korean won. We have the Turkish lira. We have, I'm just naming all these currencies. We have the Japan yen, and we have, of course, the Chinese yuan, and the Great Britain pound, the British pound, all dumping their cash into nothing other than Bitcoin. Today, all these currencies around the world, I'm looking at the screen, every single transaction dumping into Bitcoin, basically shaking out their pockets into a magnetic tray that is called Bitcoin. 115,200 US dollars for 1 Bitcoin. What that means is basically the Great Britain, the British pound, the Great Britain pound, the British pound, the King's dollar, the King's money, is trading a little bit higher than the US dollar. So it will take you $1 US plus some cents to acquire 1 pound. So let me ask you a question. How many dollars will it take you to acquire 1 Bitcoin? The answer is 115,200. That's how much the Bitcoin has grown in 17 years, since it was less than a penny, 8 digits past the decimal point. It was valued nothing. I remember people used to give away, and when I'm teaching my class at UVU, oh my goodness, I don't even want to talk about UVU, Utah Valley University. You guys, that's where I was teaching this my Bitcoin class in the finance department at Utah Valley University as an adjunct instructor. I'm not a tenured professor or, smart like those guys, but I was an adjunct instructor teaching the basics of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and the basics of blockchain. that's where the Charlie Kirk assassination took place over last week. So the very ground that Charlie Kirk was shot by an assassin, I was standing on that ground. I have stood on that ground many times in the courtyard, walking, taking, it's like a shortcut. If you want to go from the Hall of Flags at the UVU campus, sorry, I'm diverting. I started talking about Bitcoin, and now I talk about my class that I was teaching at Utah Valley University in the state of Utah in America. So I was teaching there for a while. I was teaching Bitcoin. This was started during COVID, so way back then. So a few years ago, and I did the Bitcoin conventions, hosted those at the university. And so a lot of my friends who've been speakers or visitors or attended the Bitcoin conventions that I used to host with hundreds of people used to come to my Bitcoin conventions. And during COVID, they had a limit how many people could buy tickets because they had that 6-foot rule. But anyways, the point of the matter is where they shot Charlie Kirk, the conservative Christian guy over the weekend, he would go on campuses like he did at Utah Valley and just answer questions about his conservative beliefs, his Christian belief, his support for Trump. Is probably what most people know him for. But he was against, killings, and he was against violence. And so he thought he would take his message directly to the street in a format, conversational or debate, very heated debates at times, but nonetheless using words in a calm environment at college campuses. So where he was shot, Utah Valley University, is where I was teaching this very topic: Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency, AI, and so forth. I'm no longer teaching at that university. I'm basically a wandering soul on planet Earth right now. You're tuned in to 88.5 FM with Charlene, live on the radio, the Smart Beat. So let me get back into this Utah Valley thing. So where Charlie Kirk was shot is kind of where, if you know that campus, and I'll describe it to you, there's a hall of flags. So in the hall of flags, you can set up a booth, like a table with brochures. And so that's where I would sit every day and hand out brochures about Bitcoin, about getting free Bitcoin. So when I was teaching there, I was giving away free Bitcoins from some of these exchanges. And you get $10, $20, even $50 gift cards or gift certificates, coupons to sign up with some of these exchanges or some of these tech applications to get free Bitcoins. So I was handing those out left and right. I probably ended out at least 10,000 flyers, and because I paid for at least that many over the years, handing out free certificates to Bitcoin. I don't know if some of these people went and signed up. And I had QR codes that people could scan and get free Bitcoin, free t-shirts, free stuff, free tokens. So I'm all over that campus handing out coupons and promoting my conventions as an instructor on campus. I had access to the whole campus. And my curriculum, my book, Tokens Magazine, my publications, all my lesson material are printed up and published at the university in the printing department. They have a publishing department there, which I am so excited to share my curriculum with you, the 21 fundamentals and 21 facts about Bitcoin. So yeah, people are dialing my phone. So it's best if you just text me or WhatsApp. I put it on silent for the moment, but if you want to reach me, here's the number. It's best to text because I can't really stop the show to answer. 649-441-8805. The Beat. 649-441-8805. Text or WhatsApp if you want to join the conversation. So I am very familiar with Turks and Caicos Islands, but I'm just visiting from time to time. Where I lived in the States, in the state of Utah, and I live also in the state of Hawaii part of the time. And so I teach my class, or I taught my class formerly an adjunct instructor at Utah Valley University, where they shot this guy, Charlie Kirk shooting. So it's very surreal for me, because if I was in Utah at the moment, I would have been on the campus at that Charlie Kirk event as a viewer, or an observer, as a journalist, so I could report on his visit, or I could video, or I could interview him. I've never actually interviewed him. I'm very, because Charlie Kirk is from Arizona, so Utah and Arizona, we share a border, a little, like there's like Vegas, Arizona, Utah, where they all share a border right there. You can be in 3 states at once. Always driving to Vegas, we stop at this point where you can be in Arizona, Nevada, and Utah at the same time. Those who travel a lot driving across the United States, you know what I'm talking about. But back to Utah Valley University, UVU, where I was an instructor teaching Bitcoin, is where this Charlie Kirk was killed. And so I am just like, it's like, mentally, I wanted to come on the air ever since it happened last week and talk about it, but I was so emotional about it. So I this is the first time today that I'm talking about this openly on the air, because a lot of people don't understand. That's a big, people are in shock. You understand? Okay, so you expect political violence. Like, I heard somebody said, one time, they were just, every day they wake up, they're expecting to hear, some politician is shot, or some leader of some country is shot. You expect that, right? You expect like some major figure on the world stage is always they've got security up the yin yang, Secret Service. So you're always like on the edge, waiting for that call, waiting for that news that such and such person has been injured, or this is the climate we live in. This is real anxiety. People are going through this. So the last person you would like think that is going to get shot is the guy who's actually trying to bring conversation to the dialogue on campus, on a college campus, where you feel safe. I shouldn't say you feel safe. There's been a lot of violence in that arena, but that's the last person you would expect. This is not even a guy who's like, out there too much. He's out there he's got a podcast and so forth too, but he's the least of the political agitators. He's out there, because back in high school, I used to be on the debate team, and as a journalist, I'm always debating people in not in a negative way, but I love conversation. I like to talk. I love to be, as you can tell, I'm on the radio talking all the time on 88.5 FM, The Beat. So this person is the least divisive. He's just standing up for his side of the conversation in a very confident and, I would say, somewhat self-control. Like, some of the arguments that people bring to him, he just laughs it off, and he'll banter with them. So he's a good banter. He's a good orator. He's a good, like, soapbox preacher. I mean, you hear some of these preachers, they sound like they're coming at you with a lot of stuff, a lot of, very strong. But Charlie Kirk was very mild and calm in the arena that he was debating. And so I've been in shock, because I thought to myself that I could have been there. I would have been there. No questions asked. Would I be there if I was back home in Utah right now? I would have been there. And I would have not been here in the Turks and Caicos enjoying myself on a private yacht or walking the beach. I love to walk the beach. I was walking the beach the other day. I met some great people. I didn't know I met a lady in a church, and she was fixing up her church, and I talked with her. I love going and talking to people. That's what I do. Now, this shooting was so personal because it really it's like an attack on my industry. I'm a talker. I'm a TV and radio persona. And I talk about Bitcoin. Charlie Kirk was big into Bitcoin. I talk about investments. I love, I'm a conservative. I'm a Christian. I preach about Jesus Christ wherever I go. I'm not afraid to drop the what would Jesus do on the radio. I'm not afraid to talk about my faith. Everybody knows, whenever you meet me, the first thing you're going to know about me is that I love Jesus, I love my son, and I love Bitcoin. Within 5 minutes of a conversation with this girl, Charlene, live on 88.5 FM, The Beat, you're going to know the most important things that are important to me. My child, raising my son, and I love him dearly. I feel like some people say I worship my son, but you know what? I actually do. Jesus Christ isn't here on earth. My son is the closest thing to Jesus. So in a sense, I do worship him. I learn from him and I take his leadership. He's 10 years old, but he's led me a lot. I would say I do things and I've been doing things just in the interest of my son for the last 10 years. Myself to the side, my son in the forefront. So you will know how much I love my son. The second thing you will know about me, how much I love Jesus Christ and how much I want to be prepared for the second coming. And I'm trying to let you know that one of the reasons I'm doing this show on the air, talking about Bitcoin and the blockchain, is I believe technology is going to be very critical in the advent of the second coming of Jesus Christ. I believe when he says every knee shall bow, we shall all see together everything that's happening. We don't be turning on the radio hearing about Jesus coming. Jesus is here. You're going to know together. It's going to pop up on your phone. You have that phone in your hand. Yeah, Jesus is here. Nobody has to tweet you or like your post or whatever, or subscribe or like, nothing. You are going to know. We're all going to know in the very exact moment. How many of you didn't even know about Charlie Kirk getting shot till days later? That's not going to happen when Jesus comes. Everything that's happening, folks, is leading up to the second coming. Are you prepared for it? Are you prepared to, financially, technology-wise? Listen, I know there's mansions in the heavens waiting for me, but while I'm here on earth, I gotta catch a few change, catch a few bucks. So walk with me in the faith of Christ while we learn about artificial intelligence, because you know what's the first thing that's going to be eliminated? Medicine. Human beings will no longer be doctors, dentists. All of that's going to go away. I don't know at first, but the second thing I know is definitely out very soon is education. Everybody whose child who has a phone is going to basically, you're going to be just have babies. The schools will become babysitting daycare. They won't be teaching anything. You'll have robots in the classroom instead of human teachers. Teachers are going to have to sit in the back seat, be hall monitors, while the robots teach our children. That's where we're at, folks. Listen, if you want your child to have the best education, you will probably hire a robotic AI agent to stay at home with your children, teach your children, make the beds, do all the chores, and they never sleep. So remember, you're talking about a 24/7 agent that can do your stock trading, that can do your money management, your budgeting. If you have a business, can run your business for you. Why would you think you would use that AI agent to make sure your child knows how to do math and science and the best reader? Listen, my son is already smart. He's at a grade 6 level. They put him back in grade 4, but he's at a grade 6 level because he's with his dad for the moment, and so they don't know how smart he's at right now. But I had him going. He should have been in 6th grade right now. You know what I mean? because he already finished fifth grade with the work that he was doing under my tutelage, Charlene, the amazing mom on the radio 88.5 FM, The Beat. Thank you for tuning in. But this is what is coming, folks. Your children, if the schools don't do it, rich people already have it planned out. All the robots that are being built are already sold. Let's just say the Tesla Optimus robot that's coming out, it's already out. So they're going to start selling these robots. By the end of the year, you could probably put in a pre-order for your own Optimus robot to teach your children, to run your business, to do everything. This is the robots and the AI have collided. It's a eclipse of the heart. They're now united, and human beings, teachers, are obsolete. I'm sorry to break your bubble. If you're a teacher, I am so sorry. I don't mean to offend you. I'm not trying to disrupt you, but I want you to be prepared. So you're not going to wake up one morning and all of a sudden your school principal tells you, don't bother come in because we have a new teacher for your classroom. And then you go and peek through the window and it's a robot teaching your students. I don't want you to be shocked. I'm trying to ease it in with you live on the radio, 88.5 FM. No, you're going to walk into your dentist appointment one day, and you know how they check you in at the front, and then you go in the back room, and then you're laying there on the table with your mouth wide open, and boom, there's a robot looking down at you, ready to do stuff in your mouth, ready with the injection. What's that thing? With the thing they numb the dentist uses. Oh my gosh, my brain is going. I can't even think of it. The painkillers that dentists use so you don't feel that. Well, it's not going to be some beautiful looking, dark, handsome dentist, which I hope when I go into my dental appointment, that's what I see looking down at me. And it's not going to be some tall, tan looking white man either. Or if you're into a female dentist, they're going to be that beautiful curly hair smiling down at you. It's going to be a robot. Matter of fact, some places they don't even put the human looking robots. This is just a bunch of tools, a bunch of techie looking arms and things bobbing around, like what they use to package. Amazon's using the robotic arms, and all the car makers, Ford, Chevy, General Electric, they make cars now. There's nobody in there. It's all arms and things like this microphone is sticking out. It's all robotics. So there's not just humanoid robots with eyes, fake eyes and facial, appearance, or fake skin, silicone skin. I'm talking about the whole automation of everything is being done. And you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared to go in the grocery store and there's nobody checking out. There's no human beings check out. You walk up to the machine. You go to McDonald's right now in the United States. There's nobody in the front. You walk up to a machine. I'm like, hello, I want to pay with cash. No, you can't even pay with cash. You have to use the machine. You have to tap or swipe. It's already happening. Chick-fil-A. Anybody familiar with Chick-fil-A in the United States? The chicken brand, the fries. For me, it's too sweet. I don't like Chick-fil-A. My son loves it though. He always, Mom, can we get a Chick-fil-A? Okay, fine. So I just buy a bunch more lettuce and stuff it up with lettuce and tomato. But Chick-fil-A, they have their little robot delivering the Chick-fil-A. Like you order online or you order through the app. And be no Uber driver or no DoorDash delivering that chicken. In some cities, Chick-fil-A have their own little robots up and down the road. These little R2D2 looking robots with your sandwich nice and warm inside, no contamination. You know what? Oh my gosh. Please don't order, if you can, avoid ordering takeout with some of these drivers. But these companies are delivering your food with robots. Matter of fact, some stores have no people in the checkout. They have these little robots that take your orders or just a screen. We're there, folks. Okay, if I'm saying anything that's offensive or you haven't heard about, okay, take it easy on me. Don't throw rock stones at me. I'm just preparing you for what's to come. This is Charlene, live on 88.5 FM here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. What do you do when your friends come to town, when your family comes to town? I know what you all do. You go out on the glass. It's not glass. It's the clear boat. I think it's acrylic. The material that they made the clear boat with is acrylic. Now, if you want to get a promotion, just go on to 885thebeat.com. I have a link on the homepage that takes you to Turks Tours. They have a bus that they drive up and down, and the tour bus thing, but they also have the clear boat, and you can see the whole ocean reef and turtles and whatever. I don't know how many times some of my friends have been on there, but it's a thing to do. It's a real thing to do, going out on the water and looking at the ocean floor and the reef through the clear boat. And that's brought to you by Turks Tours. You call them up, Turks Tours, but if you want a quick link, just jump over to 885thebeat.com. You'll see all of our sponsors, you'll see all of our ads, you'll see all of our featured guests, and you can get free stuff. And remember, you have to register at 885thebeat.com to get the free crypto tokens. The Beat token. Okay, so this is the first crypto token that's launched in the Turks and Caicos Islands. You're listening to the girl, Charlene, on 88.5 FM, The Beat, that has launched Turks and Caicos Islands' first crypto token right here on the radio. You can collect these tokens for free stuff. We're not trading them for money at the moment. It's all about giving you rewards and points and collecting tokens. It's like collecting memorabilia. But what I'm leaning into, what I'm hoping we can do, is create a Turks coin that is actually a real crypto coin like Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is jamming, folks. We are now at, oh my goodness, since we talked about it on the show, 115,600. 5 minutes ago, it was 115,200. Listen, if you're not in the game, if you're not a player, you're a bystander, you're a spectator. Don't be a spectator when it comes to the Bitcoin, folks. You can buy any amount, find a place. Don't ask me where to send you because I don't want to be responsible when you go hook up with the wrong place. I just want you, I'm bringing you the knowledge, just like I do in my class at Utah Valley University, where they just assassinated Charlie Kirk. That's where I was teaching Bitcoin crypto. I don't even want to talk about it, but I've got to mention it to you because a lot of people say, oh, you're from Utah? That's the very university that I worked at. I stood in the place where Charlie Kirk has been shot. I've taught at that university. I might have sat in the same chair that Charlie Kirk sat in because in the hallway of flags, he set up a table there, hand out flyers. I've done that. How do you think I got 200 students to attend my crypto Bitcoin class? I had over 100 students in one of my class, and I have another couple hundred online, and I have 30, 60 something at the community center. Listen, I hustle. I go out there, I hand out my flyers to all the students, come and take my class. Nobody's coming to my class because they just happened upon it. Yeah, a few people. Most of them I recruited myself. Hey, here's my class. They don't know nothing about Bitcoin. They thought Bitcoin was something that's going to go away. But they hired me at Utah Valley University as an adjunct instructor, as a teacher, to teach what I know about Bitcoin. Because nobody else in the finance department, all the professors, all the bigwigs, all the high, tenured people, they didn't know anything about Bitcoin and crypto. I put together my curriculum, and that's what I taught at university. That's what I'm teaching you here on the radio. This is Charlene live on 88.5 FM. I got to run, but let's wrap it up. If you want to be ready for the coming of Christ, don't be on the sidelines. We're all going to know at the very, very moment the second coming. And I think blockchain and technology is going to prepare us, is going to lead that way. You can read your Bible and still own a Bitcoin wallet. You can read your Bible and still have a computer. You can read your Bible and still have a smartphone. These are not mutually exclusive interests. You've got to be up to date, folks. You got to stay on top of it. That's why you're tuning in. And so next time, we're going to talk about some of the ways that you can monetize, some of the ways that you don't have to sell your generation wealth. You don't have to sell your land. You can ask the very same price, the sale price, for the lease price. You can get your money every single year by not selling your land, by putting a fee on it. It's called fee. It's called a fee-based sale. Right now, you're doing fee simple. Fee simple means you sell it and you'll collect money one time. Listen, radio people, entertainers, artists, they play their music. Every time the music plays, they get a few little change coming their way. You can do the same thing with any asset, with anything. And guess what? We can now put that on the blockchain. So next time, I'm going to talk to you about how you can put your lands and your island wealth and your family's wealth on the blockchain and leverage it and collect money for people to use it. You can put 100, you can do it any way you want. You can put any value you want. If somebody wants it bad enough, they're going to pay. They're going to pay the price. And they'd be happy to take a piece of what you have. Don't give it away, folks. Just like I tell the girls, keep your legs crossed. Let the guys look at the assets. They don't need to touch it. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. This is Charlene live on the radio, 88.5 FM, The Beat. See you next time. 885 The Beat. And hit me up. Oh, yeah, let me get the phone number before I jump off. 649-441-8805. Text, WhatsApp, listen live, YouTube, wherever you want to listen, Facebook. I'm everywhere. But right here on the radio, Charlene, 88.5, The Beat.